In this video, we'll discuss the arithmetic mean, or the average, of numbers. Here we have that the mean of n numbers, labeled x1, x2, through xn, is the following. We take the n numbers and we add them all up, so we take x1 plus x2 all the way up to xn and divide that by n. Here's an example. We're supposed to compute the mean of these 5 numbers. So to get the mean, we're going to take these 5 numbers and add them up. So that'll be 4 plus 7 plus 13 plus 7 plus 5. And since there are 5 numbers, we'll divide by 5. When we add up all these numbers, we're going to get 36 over 5. And then our instructions told us to write this as a decimal, and so we'll write it as 7.2. Let's check for understanding. Pause the video and work this one on your own first. This says a certain company's yearly percent gain or loss of stock value is listed below for the years 2015 through 2018. And we're supposed to find the average yearly percent gain. All right, so we have 4 values for percent gain. So we need to add all 4 of those up and divide by 4. So the mean is going to be what we get when we add those 4 values. Now the first one is a negative, so I'm going to bring that negative along, 4.14. And then the second one is 11.69. And then we have 30.02. And then we have, finally, we're adding negative 7.27. And all of this is going to be divided by 4. Now I'm going to work out the numerator in my calculator, so I'll plug that in and I'll get 30.3. And that's divided by 4. Notice how I worked that out first to make sure that my order of operations happens correctly, right? We need to compute what we have in the numerator before dividing by 4. And now when we write this out, it's going to be 7.575. Now we're supposed to round this to 2 decimal places. So this is our second decimal place that we're going to round to. So we need to look at the next one. That one's 5. And remember, if that's greater than or equal to 5, then we need to round up. So we're going to have 7.58%. That's our average yearly percent gain. Here's an example involving the mean. It says Jillian has scores 65, 75, and 70 on the first 3 tests in her chemistry class. And then it asks us what score does she need on her next test to have a mean of 75 on her 4 tests. Well, one way to approach this is just to think about what's the total of all 4 tests. So what's her total score? Well, if the mean is 75 on all 4 tests, then the total is going to be 4 times 75, which is 300. So we know her total score was 300. So then to get her 4th test score, what we could do is take her total score of 300 and subtract the 3 scores that we know. So subtract 65, and then subtract 75, and subtract 70. And when we do that, we'll find that the last score, the 4th score, has to be a 90 in order for her to have an average of 75 on all of her tests.